Ladies and gentlemen, the best fans and player on the world of the World Championship. Everything is getting ready for the bronze medal match between the team of Singapore and Switzerland. And please, firstly, let me introduce our referees. The main bronze referee and the main referee of this match is from Brazil, Thiago Gross. Side referee, Piotr Reklik from Poland. And also Li Ho Cheng from Hong Kong. And we are introducing the team of Singapore because Ivan Hun, is the captain of team of Singapore.
Number 1, Chua Zhiyu. Number 7, Ye Jingwei. Number 10, Sha Raiko. Number 15, Lin Sun Ton. Number 17, Amos Chan. Number 21, Johan Au. Number 23, Muhammad Noor. Number 25, Isaac Tan. Number 30, Ivan Low. Number 31, Xavier Q. And number 99, Pico Aliki.
And the captain is Ivan and Team Singapore. And Bruno Remolev. Bruno Remolev is the captain of Team Switzerland. Please, Bruno, introduce your strong team.
Hi, everybody. Are you ready for this match? With the number 3, Yanis Bruno. Number 4, Maxime Tanner. Number 10 and coach of this team, Joel Sieber. Number 14, Joaquin Marina Pinero. Number 16, Ivo Alves. Number 18, Benjamin Farr. Number 20, Lucas Beck. Number 23, Mathieu Elfer. Number 24, Guillaume Guge. Number 53, Justin Chalet. Number 88, Jevan Nguyen. The second coach, Thomas Pradu. And the physio, Stéphane Cerruti.
And this is the captain of Switzerland, Bruno Remolev. Ladies and gentlemen, bronze medal. This is about bronze medal. Make some big noise for the team of, please, for the team of Singapore. Yeah, and in the black jersey is team of Switzerland. Yeah, keep partying. think, because right now we are starting the big match about the bronze medal on the World Championship 2023.
Join us live for the exciting and engaging prospects that will be upon us for the men's bronze medal playoff in the World Tchoukball Championships 2023. Singapore line up there. Number 5, the captain, will be playing in red. And the lineup soon to come for Switzerland, who will be playing in black. Switzerland beat Germany in the quarterfinals and then lost to Chinese Taipei in the semifinals, whereas Singapore came through their quarterfinal against Uruguay and then lost to Italy in the semifinals, putting them both into this third or fourth playoff for the bronze medal. Some final words there for the Singapore team from their coach as the Swiss starting 7 make their way onto the court. And the Swiss numbers 4, 23, 53, 3, 20, 17, 16. Like the Swiss are just holding in the centre of the court. They've clearly done their homework. They're going to work out exactly which end they want Singapore to play against. Something that was very interesting early on in the Italy-Singapore semi-final correction, was that Italy had counteracted the idea that Singapore would always shoot at the end with 3 defenders by integrating their 4th defender off front line on every long ball, which resulted in Singapore playing a lot more long balls to try and target the end with 3. The game of cat and mouse. Switzerland bring the ball in from the back now. Cross. And the first point of the game scored by the Swiss number 23 left shooter, Mathieu Hilfer. Ball in from the back now for Singapore. Switched across. And returns to the same end, who now sends the ball long. Chanel for the Swiss there, caught out, not quite able to get back into the front line, and the Swiss make him pay. Shooting over their heads. Brings the ball in from the back now. Swiss return it to the same end. Switched across. Hilfer shoots again, scores again. 2-1 Switzerland with 50 seconds gone. A fast-paced and exciting start to this game. Singapore with the ball in from the back, switched across to the left. Switched again, short and down the line from the right shooter. An excellent shot past the Swiss captain, Bruno Remelief. Ball in from the back now for Switzerland. Returned to the same end. Switched across. And point scored for the Swiss right shooter, number 3, Bruno. Ball in from the back now for Singapore. Straight to the right shooter, who shoots first time and not able to be gathered on front line by Chanel. It looks like Arbez is playing the same roving defending role for the Swiss that we previously discussed from the Italian game. They've clearly done their homework, works out nicely. Bruin has been called landing there, but if anything, I think that's saved giving point. Excellent work from the referee on the right-hand side from Hong Kong. A high hang from the Singapore left shooter, but equal to it was the defending from the Swiss right shooter, Tanner. Remelief now caught again. It's point for point as Singapore return the ball down the right-hand side. Shooting against 2 defenders. And they make it through. Chanel just not quite able to get back into the defence, and you can hear the Singapore support in the crowd going wild. If you're trying to identify the noises in the crowd being made by instruments, the gong is the sound for Singapore and the cowbells for Switzerland. Ball court front line. Singapore now in possession. Return it to the same end. Left shooter sets the right shooter for an excellent 10-degree shot between Hilfer and Arbez, who aren't able to gather that. Singapore into an early lead, 5 points to 3. Ball in from the back now from Switzerland. Sent across the D. Remelief, the setup shooter, to Bruin. And again, landing called. Some excellent refereeing here. Whether it's the fatigue in the legs or the switch just not quite being in the right place, he's taken an extra half second in the air to try and get his position, and it's not helped him. That down the line shot paying off well for Singapore there, who stretched their lead slightly more, 6-3. Remelief making gestures to the benches if he wants changes, but Arbez to Tanner to Hilfer, and the point scored as the Singapore player drops it on front line. Ball coming in from the back now from Singapore. Takes a second to set himself. Moves to the other end. And the shot is scored against Mathieu Hilfer. Ball received now from the back by Arbez. Remelief. Switch. And this time, Bruin picks his legs up, receives a nice switch, and is rewarded with a point being scored. 2 points in it, 7-5 to Singapore. Made that 8-5 to Singapore. Number 25 chopped his hand across the ball. A lovely spinning motion, deceiving the Swiss right shooter, unable to gather it on front line. And the ball in now from the back. Across to Remelief. Switch again. Bruin puts the ball down the line. He says to that Singapore right shooter, anything you can do, I'm equal to it. First time shot now between the two defenders for Switzerland, who are unable to gather it. 15 points scored in less than 5 minutes. We're seeing a point less than every 20 seconds. It's a real fast-paced game to pick up on. As it comes across now. Remelief. Bruin. And he picks the gap nicely. He's sent that right shooter, correction, the left shooter to the outside with a 0. He's now just put it inside him, and the defender has not been able to pick up on it since. Slow period of reset with Singapore bringing the ball in from the back. Turned back to the same end now. Sent across to the left. Shot, and it's between Arbez and Bruin. The gap well picked. Switzerland almost operating a 2-2 in defence there. Beck and Remelief leaving early to combat the threat of a push shooter coming in from the right-hand side, but the two defenders set there for the other shooter, just not able to pick him up. Foot on the line has been called by the end referee. And Singapore bring the ball from the breakdown. Across the D, sent long now with 1 pass left. The switch. And that has been called from the end referee. And Switzerland now with a breakdown. Sent back down the same end. Time to shoot, and he puts it nicely past square. Still a close game. 2 points in it, 10-8. Singapore with the ball to their shooter, across the left, sends it down the other end. They still have a pass left, so watch for the switch here. 25 sets it nicely for his opposition right shooter, and he finishes well. Chanel unable to pick that. We've now had a change of defence. Switzerland proactively trying to seek to minimise the amount of shots being leaked down this left-hand side. So they've brought Beck down to attempt to deal with that, and sent Chanel to the other end. Both sides have a full bench today, who are raring to go should any changes need to be made by the coaches. But as yet, no substitutions have been brought on. A lovely down-the-line shot from Singapore there. Helfer very calm, just shakes his head, puts it out of his mind, and looks to move on with the game. 12-8 as Singapore grow the gap slightly. The option ball now to Arbez, sent down to Tanner. His long legs switches across, and Mathieu Helfer puts the ball through between the gap of the defender and the right shooter. Tanner may have been close to being called landing there. The switch across was quick and made the point effectively. Singapore with a relatively basic error there. Switzerland almost make one back. They've got to make sure they're capitalising on this. And they just don't quite manage to get the gap, but they were shooting at feet there, so it's just an excellent catch from Singapore. 25, shoots. And Beck catches this. Change the Swiss made has really paid dividends there. Arbez from relief. Switch, Bruin, and foot on line. I think he was probably landing there as well, to be honest. Bruin normally seen as one of the Swiss star shooters, but has not always been able to fire earlier on in this game. 25, switched across. And the second line, Chanel, was in the right place, but just didn't quite read it. The high five from the coach there to say, hey, don't worry. Carry on with the game. Arbel, Bruin, long ball now. Tanner takes a second, composes himself, switches. Helfer reverses inside, but the Swiss can't break that 25 from Singapore, who's equal to the catch. Switch across now. A lovely push, almost pop shot there from the Singapore right shooter. It's just not able to pick that one up. Arbez in from the back for Switzerland now. Return to the same end. And back down the other end. Is every ball in this going to be a long ball? No. Tanner puts it across to Helfer, who finds the gap. Switzerland trying to claw their way back in, but with 9 minutes gone so far in this match, it is advantage Singapore. Singapore across now. And again, the shooter says, I don't want to shoot at a 4, and sends it to the other end of the 25. Puts it past back. Swiss have now made a substitution. Chanel is off. Marine Pinheiro is off. Optioned now to Pinheiro. Sent long to Tanner. And he finds the gap really nicely. To be fair, the Singapore player moved into that gap as well. They read the shot nicely. Just not able to gather it. Reading is half the battle when you're defending. Catching's the other half. Singapore now. Across. And again, the long ball. They do not want to be shooting at this forehand. Integration is not happening. Singapore resorts into the long ball to move it. And almost an excellent catch there from Singapore. From Switzerland's correction. But just before the number 17 was able to release the ball, he put his hand out of court, and thus the point was caught. In from the back now. 7 across, and again the long ball. I think we'll be seeing this a lot from Singapore today. Especially if it works as well as that. Helfer is not able to gather it in. The Swiss do have a couple of left shooting options on their bench, and the likes of Sieber, Kusch. It remains to be seen whether they think one of them will be more defensively minded, especially with a given point from Helfer there. Stretches the lead even further, 18-12. That is the first time we've seen Remolith shoot, and he scores. 18-13. Singapore bring the ball in. 25 across, shoots, again finds that gap. I'd be interested to see if Tanner from the right-hand side for the Swiss almost needs to come around even further with them as well. Because if that's the case, then if the Singapore player decides he wants to shoot down onto square, you've almost got one of the Swiss players come in from second line to say, okay, I need to cover that square gap. As it is, they're finding way too many gaps in the Swiss defence. Number 7, across. Long ball now from Singapore. 25. Cross to the right shooter. Sounded horrible, but came off nicely. And Singapore take a 6-point lead with 3 minutes to go. Back in from the back for the Swiss. Across to the left. Switch to Bruin, and again he's now starting to fire. He just apologised to the referee there as he bumped into him on the follow-through. Slight tactical change again. I'm intrigued to see that Switzerland are keeping the left shooter as Helfer. Clearly I think his offensive game is enough to back this up, but they've moved Marinier Pinheiro into the gap there, who takes a catch immediately. Travelling has been called. Needs to face up again, as they're about to shoot at him again. Yeah, here they go. That's exactly what I was talking about. Forcing the Singapore player to go onto the 90 and have that picked up on second line. Bruin shoots, but it's been caught. No! The point is called as it touched the Singapore player below the knee pad. Now down to a 4-point gap. Alpha did not read that shot at all. It's a quick game, as we spoke about before. We're on course for 40 points being scored in this first period. Remelief with an excellent thought of the shot, waiting for the for the Singapore defence to move in the way that he wanted before putting that into where they would have been. But landing called. Switzerland unable to get out on second line. 22-16 the score now. As the cowbells sound in the stands again, summoning Switzerland on for the rest of the game. Bruin with a lovely long ball, gathered with the long levers of Tanner, pops it across to Helfer, who scores the point. I don't think Singapore will be doing anything different tactically now. Number 7, across, 30, long ball, 25, shoots, and scores. I suspect we'll be seeing a lot of this through the match. If it's working, why would you change it? Keep shooting at the end with 3 players. Travelling has been called against the Swiss there, and with 40 seconds left, Singapore will have the ball. Send down the left-hand side. First time shot, Helfer unable to gather. I do wonder if the Swiss will make a change at the break. Switzerland bring the ball in from the back. Return to the same end. And now back to the opposite end with 1 pass left. How will they play this? Across to Bruin. Shoots inside, but the right defender has picked him up. Singapore integrating, and it's played nicely off for them. Looking to shoot. No, across. And the spin shot unable to be gathered by Tanner there. 25-17 is how the score will finish at the end of this first period. Singapore taking a commanding lead.
Right now, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Break and also time for the strategy for everything what is necessary to be successful in the fight about bronze medal, the 10th World Championship in the Prague 2023. You are absolutely amazing. Please be ready for your favorite team. because everything is getting ready for the second period of the bronze medal match. So we are waiting and we are counting out last 10 seconds. And your favorite team needs your energy. So please show us that you are the fan of Team of Switzerland! And on the ground. And this is the time also for Team of Singapore!
Turning to the court now. Once again, as we talked about in the previous period, Singapore set up with their strike shooters against the end of 3.
Just got a ball in here from Singapore to start the second period. A nice switch across. And faked a long ball there. And Lucky just bobbling out of the defence there from the Swiss.
Some tactical remonstrations from the other end from the Swiss, who I think were looking to try and organise an end swap there, but didn't quite organise it in time. Great catch. And another great catch. Switzerland back with the ball.
And a pick up there from Singapore. And a lovely point there.
Passes. There we go. It's just been called by the referee. Ball bouncing between 2 of the Singapore players on defence. The breakdown being taken. Helfer across the Tanner. Shoots. I think that's a given point. There we are. We saw these too much in the Hong Kong-Singapore game. And the women's, the Hong Kong-Taiwan game. The women's blonde player.
Lovely hands there on first line from Singapore. Swiss respond with a catch there. And get that point over.
That's not something you often see. You saw Pinheiro, the defender there, calling for the ball to try and set up the play for Remeli, who's normally a left shooter, but ended up taking that shot himself from the right there. 28-18 the score. Again, the long ball, the Singapore really targeting this end of 3. A great catch and return in court. Back to Remeli. Shoots, spun, and past the Singapore number 1. You can hear the crowd signing appreciation.
Long ball in there from Singapore, looking to build a play here.
And normally we talk about being unable to be gathered. It's popped off front line and is unable to be gathered in second line. There, the shot went to the second line, rebounded to the front line, who just weren't quite able to pick it up. Long ball now from Switzerland. And the point scored. The referee for Hong Kong deeming the ball had just gotten over the line. Quick switching, returned to the other end. Shooting against one person, only going to be one winner there. Singapore quickly picking up on the point. The Switzerland has started to integrate and have brought 4 defenders to the other end. And so long ball to the other end where the defence was lacking.
Switzerland just returning a point there, getting a nice quick one on the board. Singapore with a switch and a point there, just nice and quick across the circle.
Absolutely. Switzerland behind the baseline to receive for the back line. Brought in from the back. Into the defender, who sends it back down the end it came from. Who return it back via a long ball. One pass left. Landing called. I have to say the quality of the refereeing from this Hong Kong referee has been exceptional. Just brushed off the fingers there. And so even though it landed out of court, still a point to Singapore. 11 points in the lead now.
Ball in by Switzerland. Just looking a switch here and a nice point over the line.
Absolutely. Getting gathered there. And Singapore bring it back in from the back. Number 1, across, 30, back, 5, sends the long ball, the entire Swiss defence charge up, and the ball is dropped by Singapore. Switzerland bring it back in now. Frenetic pace, fired down the other end, one pass left. Bruin does not take it and scores the point. Singapore to bring the ball back in now. Switzerland to reduce the gap to 19. Correction, 9. Back up to 10.
Switzerland with the back line here. Oh, just changing out the ball. Lovely shot there and a point, Switzerland. Long ball in from Singapore. Staying. And another long ball across.
One of the features we've seen of this game so far is that the Swiss left shooters have struggled to pick up the down-the-line shots from Singapore. They've not changed that in any way. Clearly they see the offensive talents of those starting two left shooters, 17 and 23, to be the best choice to combat Singapore. But it is interesting, sometimes you see sides bringing the defender to the outside to defend that shot in the best way. Remonstrating with the Polish referee that he thinks that should have come off the frame and be called, but the referee was unmoved. Switzerland do also have two defending options, two slightly more defensive shooters on their bench as well. Sieber and Kush, yet are choosing not to use those. Loops up off the frame from Doreen. Singapore back in possession. One pass left. Sends it to the other end. The defence charge up. Just between Arbez and Tanner.
Ball in from number 14 of Switzerland. Some really nice quick switching at this end, which is resulting in some points for Switzerland. Just couldn't quite keep hold of it on first line. A lovely shot along the line there from number 17 of Switzerland.
Singapore bring the ball in from the back. Switched across. And Beck is unable to. Back down the other end. Swiss new right shooter comes on. And the Swiss second just unable to get that. Pinheiro narrowly avoiding a collision with the advertising audience. It's hard to tell there. Remelief may have kicked that ball out of his hands unintentionally, or the ball may have just been slightly slippery. At any rate, Singapore bring the ball down to the end with 3 to shoot against. 30, runs in, switch. And the shot past Helfer again. This match is being won and lost in defence, and right now Swiss are losing the battle at defending those push shots against the left shooters.
Seen that for a couple of points from Switzerland now, just when they're really looking at those quick switches, they're getting the points past Singapore, just opening up those gaps in defence.
The defender there for Switzerland was also taking the first switch as well, which is important because it puts the right shooter back onto a moving defence. And the Swiss have decided that this is the play. Arbez sometimes plays as a right shooter for his club side, Valderou, and it's really paying off for the combination set up there. 5 minutes left to go in this second period. The gap of 13 points, 42 to 29.
Lovely shoulder height shot there from Switzerland, just really capitalising on that lack of second line from Singapore. Ball in from Singapore here. Switching across. And a point. Just again bobbling off that front line Swiss defence.
In from the back now. Across. And just unable to be gathered on second line. You could see the Singapore defence hadn't quite tracked around enough there to cover off Remelief, who saw the gap. Took it. To be fair, there was a gap on front line in exactly the same position for him. Singapore now 30, shoots, hard, high, unable to be gathered by the Swiss. Marina Pinheiro comes off, and Gwyn comes on to partner Arbez in the defence on this right-hand side. Switch, shot, and not quite able to be gathered just by, can't work out that touched the ground or if it hit his leg. Singapore have now made a change on the right-hand side. Number 25 has come off in the left shooter position. Number 31 to replace.
Just a landing call there for Singapore. Switzerland will look to capitalise now. Which they do. Nice point from a switch. Really working on that right-hand side. And a long ball there from Singapore. Great second line catch from 20 for Switzerland. Just unfortunately hit into his own play, so it will be an obstruction call.
Making another change, the number 15 coming off in the centre, number 17 on to replace. Few Swiss changes having been made now, the shooting pair having been changed up. Father was brought on for a few points, didn't quite change it, so they let Bruin rest up, reset, recharge. It's back to face again. Again, Singapore targeting that end of 3 players, and it pays off for them.
Switzerland with the backline ball. Going long to the right. And another obstruction call there.
And Singapore now with the ball in from the back. Switched across. And again, finding the gaps. Hits Kusha, unable to catch it. Kusha's protesting about something. And the end referee. The referee from the other end has noticed that there was an obstruction there. He's stepping into the court. Time has been called. This is where we talk about the referees working as a team. They will be restarted now with 45 seconds left to go with a Switzerland breakdown for obstruction called against the Swiss number 24 as he attempted to defend. Switch across now. Switch again. Tanner with a foot on the line. .30 seconds to go. Dug up. England just not able to get there on the second line defence. 20 seconds to go. Will the score change again? 48-35.
Ball in from Switzerland on the back line, looking to get a quick point here. And a catch front line from Singapore.
And the period ending there. Singapore 48. Switzerland 35, 13-point gap. And Singapore have won that period by 5 points, 23-18.
Switzerland 35 points, and there are also women from the team of Singapore, and you are supporters. Please, more! Yeah. Thank you, and please, right now, join everybody who is on the side on Singapore. 3, 2, 1, go! Thank you very much. And we are going to the team of Switzerland because I can see a big flag of Switzerland. Please be ready in your group and show us how to play. 1, 2, 3, go! Okay, thank you. It was first, and right now, because you are absolutely amazing, join everybody who is on the side of Switzerland. 3, 2, 1, go! Thank you. So we know who is the fan of Singapore and who is the fan of Switzerland. But Tchoukball is about connection, about friendship. And right now, please, one energy of team of Singapore in Switzerland. All of you, 3, 2, 1, go! For Singapore, 48 points. Switzerland, 35 points. And 10 seconds to the start of the period number 3.
join us again for the third period now of this bronze medal match. Switzerland have it all to play for. Time on.
Option ball here from Switzerland. Oh, just a little too much on that cross-court ball there. Singapore with the breakdown.
Too good there from the Singapore number 5, who shoots it past the baseline and therefore concedes the given point. Beck's got to be careful he doesn't travel, but does it well. Returns. Donnelly. Shoots second line, and that's not picked up by the Singapore number 30. Singapore concede 2 points at the start of this period. This is exactly the start Switzerland needed if they're to have any chance of gaining that bronze medal.
Long ball there from Singapore.
And another. Back to shoot at the end of 3.
Switch cross from Switzerland. And a given point. Switzerland will have the ball.
In from the back. Down the line. Lovely shot there from Singapore. Again, targeting these Swiss left shooters.
That quick switching and quick ball from Switzerland really working and opening up the Singapore defence. Good start to this period for them.
There we have the catch again. And Switzerland score again. Looks like Switzerland are on the verge of making a change. I suspect Helfer will come back on for Kush shortly. Either that or he's just eager and in place to watch the game. Switzerland with the ball in from the back.
Good dig on first line from Singapore, but just too much for the second line to get. Switzerland with the point. Singapore backline.
Sometimes in these games like this, it can be hard not even to hear yourself think, let alone try and hear tactical instructions being passed from your bench and your coaches. You hear the amount of noise from the stand, the noise generated on the court from players shouting instructions, cheering from each other. The referee's whistles, the noise of the cowbells, the gongs in the stand, the horns. Everything makes it a really difficult environment to try and convey tactical instructions. It's vitally important for the coaches to be able to do that, to be able to react to changes the opposition makes. Another point scored there by Singapore. 53-40.
Switzerland with the ball from the back line. Sending another long ball down to this right-hand side. And a given point there. The gap back out to 14.
Bryn with an excellent switch, just holding the defence long enough to make sure that Helfer had the gap between the right shooter and the defender there.
And what a point that is from Switzerland. Rebounded off the first line defender into the frame, and he managed to get out of the way just in time to score that point. Foot on line for Singapore. Switzerland will look to capitalise on this.
And capitalise they do. Gap back to 11 points. Switzerland clawing it back bit by bit, but just not seeing the gains they need if they want to truly make this the period they need to win the medal.
Ball in from Switzerland, into the middle. Quick switching across the D and great hands there by Singapore.
Switzerland with a quick switch. Bruin, 2 passes used in Singapore catching that. They've got to shoot this now. All of Switzerland will jam up to try and defend. And they just can't quite gather it in. Singapore stretched their lead a little bit further. It's now up to 14 points. 13 again.
Lovely shot there down the line by Helper. Switzerland with the ball. Option pass back down to the right, and a shot along the frame called there by Switzerland.
Switzerland attempted to call frame there,
Yes.
to tell the referee that they thought that would come off the frame, but the referee was not having it. Hard, low and spun shot there from the Singapore left shooter. Unable to be gathered by the front line by the Swiss. Quadruple switch now and sent down the line just in court. Delightful work.
Frame ball there by Singapore. Switzerland with the breakdown. And a point scored.
The amount of communication between the Swiss players and their bench, I suspect a change may be incoming.
And just too much on that cross-court ball there from Singapore. Another opportunity for Switzerland to claw this back. And they do. Lovely gap opening up in defence for Singapore.
Singapore are just picking on the Swiss shooters, but this time they're aiming on the gap between the Swiss right shooter and defender. Point for point for point here. Over 100 points scored already, and we still have more than 5 minutes left in this game.
Singapore controlling that ball and finding the gap in that first line Swiss defence.
Singapore almost controlling that ball there, but the defender had just stepped out of court before controlling it again, therefore giving it to Switzerland as a point. And now return to the other end. Number 7, switches. Left-handed, But foot on the line called. Bruin now. Across to Helfer. Shoots 45, finds the gap and scores.
Switzerland really refusing to let this game go, clawing back every point.
They're winning this final period by 2 points, but they need another 10 in these last 5 minutes. Can they do it? The odds are against them, but you never know in Tchoukball. In the semi-final yesterday between Chinese Taipei and Italy, Italy were 6 points up midway through the final period, and it finished in a tie. Good catch from Singapore, who recycle now, take the shot, and Pinheiro just not able to cling on. Change now for Switzerland. Number 3 coming off, number 18 coming on in the right shooter position. Ball returned to the same end. Sieber across, Tanner. Shoots inside off the drop. If I'm honest, I thought he landed that, but referees give the point.
Singapore on the ball, first time shot. Controlled push at the frame from the Swiss, but not quite the point.
Singapore just shooting too long there, conceding the given point, and now bring the ball back in again. Across the 25. Switch. Shot, little pop shot almost in between the two. Gets the point. Singapore leading by 11, 3 minutes to go. You'd surely think this is too much of a mountain to climb for the Swiss. And I promise that wasn't a Swiss mountain joke.
Ball
in from the back now.
Pick up there from Swiss. But a foot on line called. Singapore will have the breakdown. They send it long. Second line from Switzerland just couldn't quite keep hold of that one.
Almost flicked to third line there as well, but it just didn't work out the way. It's sometimes the way, I think, when you're trying to defend on second line, where if you're just unable to catch it, do you attempt to pass it back towards the front line? Do you attempt to try and gather it yourself, or do you pass it off in the hope that third line is running in behind you? But it's very difficult to do in a split second, often when you're reacting to a deflection, especially when you can't see behind you. Gathered on third line, as we see there, clean from Sieber. Faber across to Helfer, shoots, and Singapore can't take the catch. Switzerland are winning this final period by 3 points. But it's just not going to quite be enough for them. Number 5 returning the ball back down. 25 again. And the second line shot there seems to be working. Singapore making another change. Number 23 coming on. And number 17 has come off.
Ball in by Switzerland, switching across the D, and a long ball sent back down. Point scored.
Excellently down the line there. Just over 1 minute left in this pulsating bronze medal match.
Singapore with the point. Switzerland want the ball back in quickly.
Swiss just have to be careful here not to lose their heads and to let the game go too quickly for them. That's the case. They're in danger of slipping an extra 3 or 4 points in this final minute.
Lovely pick up on first line. Passed it across to the shooter. Gathered by Singapore on second line.
The noise in here is reaching fever pitch as Singapore have to shoot this now. They do. Gathered by the right shooter. One pass taken. Another into the centre. Sieber has to shoot this now. 15 seconds to go. And a frame is called. Singapore have 10 seconds left and they will not be rushed, and the referee has pushed them back slightly as well. They'll take the shot here, I think. They do. It's caught. Sieber sends it back into the middle, but that is time gone. And as you can see, Singapore 67, Switzerland 57. You may be able to see the Swiss players all gathered around Gail Sieber, their left tutor, a previous coach, who's breaking down almost in tears. I believe this may be one of his last competitions. I don't know if he's retiring after this match, but he's clearly very emotional. It's been an enthralling, a pulsating match. Both sides playing really well. It's been a privilege to commentate on it.
From Poland and Leo Chung from Hong Kong. Thank you very much. To the main and sides referee. And please big applause for the team of Switzerland. And for the absolutely great of team of SUI.